Rodz and Hobz. Today another episode of doing some stain work and patina stuff with some furniture. So I did my kitchen table a week ago, didn't film it, I wanted to try it out and it worked out really good. So now we're going to do the chair. So the table was black, top and bottom, but I just changed the top texture of the table. I'll show you a photo, it'll be on there. So I figured that's a cool concept, let's try something else. We're going to keep the entire chair black except the seat area. So I picked up some Varathane gel stain, a Cabernet. The gel I really like, it doesn't take much to get it to stain. So I'm just going to do a simple 80 grit sanding on it, let it sit a little bit, and then we'll do a coat, and then I'll basically do a little bit of wet sanding in between the coats of the urethane, clear coat, 3 coats of the urethane. A coat, wait an hour, sand it down a little bit, repeat, sand, and then you should be good to go. So, let's get some sanding done, and we'll go from there. Okay, so what works really well is basically get a bag of painter's rags. They're not expensive. They're like $4 a bag. They come in squares like that. So I just fold them, and then fold them, and then fold them. The hands behind here. That's pretty much what becomes your palette. You can use a brush, but with the gel, I find the rag works really well. And then go in the direction of the wood. And just work it in there. Probably 2 coats I would recommend. So do a coat and then sand it a little dry, and then give it a you can do a 280 or you can do a 320 grit. If you put it heavy enough on the first time, it just needs a light sanding, and you might not need much of a second one. Pick up your edges, and that's pretty much it, really. Okay, so it's been about an hour. Pretty much dried in the sun. So I got a 400 I put on here, and I got it on a low speed of 1. So you're not gonna need much, basically 1 pass fluid, probably 3, and then you move on to the next one. And then let that sit, dust it down a bit, then you apply your second stain. That's it. Dust it down, and then we can start applying our next coat stain. Okay, so now we're going to put the second coat. A little bit of an advice here. With your rag, now that it's coated, when you apply your second coat, because it's oil-based, you're going to want to lay them out somewhere dry, outside, or soak them in water, and then find out where you're allowed to dispose of them in your local city bylaws, because these are flammable. If you put a bunch of them crumbled up in the corner, they will ignite, and that's bad. So, a bit of sniffles today, a little bit of allergies, and that's all you're really doing. Second coat really brings out the red again, and now that you've sanded it, much better. Awesome. All right, let that one dry. I'll finish these off and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so what I got was a polyurethane. Hang on a sec. Okay, so what I got was a polyurethane clear semi-gloss. It's all you're really going to need. Now that everything's dry, you're just going to give it a coat. Let it dry about an hour. And then apply. So I'm just going to use a rag. And same way I did the stain, you're going to be doing that. Remember, make your square, kind of like that. And then when you apply, follow the grain. And you just do one pass on each one. Let it dry. Then I'm going to do probably a 320 or a 400. Just a quick sanding. Wipe off the dust and repeat. All right, we're getting there. Okay, so now they've dried about an hour. Got a 400 grit, same idea. A pass up, a pass down, and then restain them again. I got it on setting of 1. That's it. Not a lot of pressure. All right, just wipe them down and then another coat. Cool.